All right, my name is William Johnson. I go here. I'm a senior at CAPA, and this is
I'm Desmond Sean Ellington, and I play Davis in the national tour of Hell's Kitchen, playing here this week at the Benham Center.
That's what's up. That's what's up. All right. So, all right, the first question I wanted to ask, I feel like it's like a very like cliche question, but like, what like actor or movie like that you looked at made you like, oh yeah, that's what I want to do. That I want to act. That's what I want to do. What inspired you?
For me, growing up, of course, was television. So I didn't go to a lot of like live theater shows. Everything I saw was like on television. So I would say like my first really realization of acting and seeing myself on television would probably be watching The Cosby Show growing up, and watching Malcolm Jamal Warner, who played Theo, the son on the show. Of course, he recently passed, rest his soul. But I think that was the first time that I saw like a dark-skinned young, boy on TV that looked like me. And then also seeing like Family Matters and Jaleel White, who played Steve Urkel, who was known for that huge role of being a comedic actor and doing voices and different things like that, was like my earliest memory of like seeing an actor or seeing, someone on TV that I'm like, I like that. That's funny. Yeah. I want to make people laugh like that.
Yeah. Okay, I got you. Thank you. Next question. All right. So, all right, what's your like preparation for a show? Like, how do you get all the nerves, if you have any? How do you get all the nerves out? Just get yourself ready and maybe just go on stage.
Well, honestly, I don't like to get the nerves out. I like the nerves because as an artist, anytime I say, if I don't feel like the nervous or like a rush of adrenaline, that means I don't feel it. Oh, I feel it. You know what I mean? And if I don't feel it as an artist, if you're watching me perform or do whatever it is that I do, you're not gonna feel it either. You know what I mean? So I like to have that rev of adrenaline, like that. Whew, it's 5 minutes to curtain time. I like to have that because I know that I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna be present in the moment, and I'm gonna feel all the things that I need to feel. To make sure that the performance is real and that it's grounded. So I like to keep the nerves. But preparing, just depending on, if it's whether it's vocal exercises, to make sure my voice is intact, or just, sometimes I'll just play like some jazz music. My character that I play in this show is a pianist, like a jazz pianist or whatnot. And so sometimes, I might put on a little Coltrane, I might put on a little, just to kind of get in the character, so, but it just depends on the show that I'm doing.
Yeah, that's a great answer. Great answer. All right. Acting wise, what goals do you still have?
I love theater, which has been my introduction to acting. And so because I am on this level in theater, so I've made my Broadway debut. And so now I'm like, well, how about we win a Tony? How about that? Because one, gosh, you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm looking forward to being able to originate a role or be in a show that I could be eligible or be nominated for a Tony.
Got you. Great answer. And again,
you're not just saying that, right?
I'm loving the answer.
All right, okay.
Dude, I'm okay. What is one struggle that a lot of people wouldn't know about, like, just acting Broadway? And what's the struggle that like keeps resonating,
For me, like a struggle for me, or just, well, I tell people I'm still learning. I'm very new to theater. Like, I saw my first Broadway show for my 33rd birthday.
Really?
So that was my first time ever like seeing anything that I'm doing now. And most people that I'm working with have been in theater since they were in, they went to performing arts. They went to college, they went to NYU, And so here I am, like, where'd you go to school? I'm like, I'm not here, you know. And I went to school for engineering. And acting came like much later in life, to where I'm like, now I'm in this world, this amazing world. And, you know, I may not necessarily have like the credentials or like the qualifications on paper, but I'm willing to learn. If you teach me, I'll learn. And so my first show, like my first big show that I ever was cast in was Hamilton. And those of us who know what that show is, it's one of the biggest shows in Broadway history. And that's my first show. So already I'm like, whoa, how did I get here? But since I'm here, I gotta lock in. Yeah. I gotta figure this out, because we were touring the show, and most touring houses in different cities are at least can be anywhere from 3,000 people to 5,000 people. And so I'm literally learning in real time what it is to be an actor on stage, what stage left means, what stage right means, what upstage, downstage means, where my light is, all in front of 3,000 people. You know what I'm saying? So that was so scary. But it's one of those things where it's like, if I can do this, I can do anything. And so that was a big thing, and I'm big on that. You know, even if you are scared of whatever it is that you're wanting to do, even if you have a goal or a visual in your mind of where you can see yourself, but you know, maybe you don't have the qualifications or the background or the experience, that still doesn't mean you can't have it unless you can't do it. That's a real big on manifestation. So if it's something that you want to do, someone that you want to be like, all you got to do is see it. Yeah, so I know we talked about earlier some of your inspirations. So because you've seen Pharrell do his thing, in your mind, you're the next Pharrell. Because you've seen it, so you can manifest that. You know what I'm saying? Of course. So that's definitely. But yeah, doing it scared is hard, because you know you got to do it. Because if you don't do it, who's not doing it? Exactly. You know. Yeah. Right. Thank you.
All right. I'm gonna go off the paper. I should have put this down. I want to know your acting journey, like from where it all started to where you are now.
Okay.
I'm curious.
Well, I didn't have like an experience like you all have, where you're going to like a performing arts and where you have like specific guidance for whatever field you were in. Like where I grew up, if you were smart and tested well, you would be in like the advanced classes or the AP classes, and if you tested well, you get a scholarship, you go to school, you know. But my creative outlet was church. Yeah, growing up in church, Easter speeches, Christmas plays, singing in the youth choir, singing in the adult choir. I played the drums, you know, growing up in church. So that was the creative outlet. And it's so interesting now that I do theater, where I'm able to like, actually, I've been doing theater my whole life. Because think about it, in a church, right? Yeah. A church is basically a theater. You have what we call a stage in theater, in church is called a pulpit. Yes. You know, we call it the audience. In church, you have the pew, the congregation. They have lights, you have sound. In church, it's called a church program. We call it a playbill. Yeah. You know, so it's a lot of very, you know, similar, you know, so I'm like, oh, this is what we've been doing. You know, you get up, you perform, whether you have a song or a speech or a sermon, type of thing in front of people. The people, you know, talk back to you, you know, they clap, you know, so it's kind of like the same thing. So when I look back on my life now, I'm like, oh, I've been preparing for this moment all my life, didn't know it. But I lived in Atlanta, like after I left home, and a friend that I met during that time, she invited us to a show that she was doing, and it was Jesus Christ Superstar. And of course, I've heard the name or heard the title but I've never seen the show, didn't know anything about it. And so I went, and I was completely like, this is incredible. I've always heard of Broadway shows, and but I had never seen, you know, anything like that. And so that was kind of like where I say the seed was planted for me to like even do what I'm doing now is just seeing that. And there in Atlanta is where I actually began my theatrical experience. It was like I was a singer, you know, and so it was like, hey, you can sing, you should go audition for this show. They're looking for singers to be like in the chorus ensemble. And I'm like, okay, sounds fun, let's do it. And I was cast, you know. And so now I'm doing, I think it was like a Christmas show, like Black Nativity or something like that. And one thing would lead to another, like, oh, you should go, you know, over here, audition for that. And so even during that time, I wasn't really like focused on like pursuing acting because I really didn't think I could because I didn't go to school for it. You know, I was like, oh, maybe like a hobby type of thing, you know, I don't know. And for my 33rd birthday, I flew myself to New York and I saw Chicago on Broadway. So that was my first time being in New York, my first Broadway show. And it was that night, watching that show, that I decided, this is what I'm going to do. And when I say this I'm going to pursue it. I'm going to like put my mind to it. I don't know anything about theater. I don't know anything about Broadway. I don't even know anything about New York. This is my first time here. So how can I say this is what I'm going to do? Right? Yeah, I just do. This is what I want to do. And the moment I said that, opportunities just started happening for me to audition or to be in, you know, cast in different shows. And I was cast in a show, a regional show. And lo and behold, that show got me my equity card, which is for theater actors on Broadway. It's our union. Like SAG, AFTRA is for this unit for like TV and film actors. For Broadway actors, ours is called Actors Equity as our unions. And so I'm like, now I can work professionally as an actor because I have my union card. I was in LA. This was summer of 2017. And I had just finished that regional show that I was talking about. And the national tour of Hamilton came to the city, and I was like, let's see it. And so because Hamilton was like the top show, you know, I was like, well, if I'm a new actor and this is what I'm going to do, I need to see what the top tier actors are doing so I can prepare and know what I'm going to do.
Exactly.
I saw the show and it totally blew me away. And I was like, whoa. My first thought was like, yeah, that's rapping, dancing, singing, all the things. And then the more I thought about it, I said, no, if this is what I'm here to do, this is what I'm going to do. And I gave myself 2 years to be in that show. I said, I'm going to be in the show. I'm going to give myself 2 years to work my way to it. And I was cast in the second national tour of Hamilton 2 months later after seeing the show for the first time.
That's amazing.
So everything that I learned, that I'm even doing now, I literally learned while on tour. Like I was put in this huge show with all these things so I'm like, if I can learn here in Hamilton, I call it Hamilton University because that's where I went to school. I went to Ham U. That's where I went to school. Because what better training and what better, you know, in an actual show. So that's where I learned. So 5 years I toured with Hamilton. And after those 5 years, I ended up moving to New York officially. And I said, after 5 years, I said, I'm ready to be on Broadway. And I moved to New York and I was cast in, I auditioned for Hell's Kitchen, the show I'm in now, but it was on the off-Broadway show at the time. And the off-Broadway show ended up getting transferred to Broadway. And I was with the show for about a year and a half. Then I left and then got brought back to do the tour now. So all of my acting, everything that I've learned, my journey has literally been on the job training, like in real time. Like in rehearsals, learning what it is to be on stage, learning how to find your mark, your number, and now I have to go perform it in front of 3,000 people. So it's kind of like, you know, learning how to swim by getting pushed in the deep end and saying, all right, you got to sink or swim, figure it out. And so I figured it out.
That's amazing, man. That's beautiful. Congratulations.
Thanks, man, for saying it.
All right, my last question. All right. This is a two-part.
Okay.
What motivates you, and what would you say to anybody like relatively close to your position that you were in? What would you say to them?
What motivates me is kind of like I said at the beginning, where I saw someone who looked like me on TV that let me know what was possible. I believe in paying it forward. And so what motivates me is that I know somewhere in this audience of 3, 4 to 5,000 people, there's not, if I could be a representation for one person, a young black boy, a young black girl, or someone who looks like me, someone to say, if he can do it, I can do it too. That's what motivates me to do 8 shows a week. 8 shows a week. To travel around, the country doing the show and performing night after night. Because again, I wouldn't be doing this if had it not been for me seeing someone on stage who I'm like, oh, I didn't even know this was available to me. So that motivates me. Being able to come and talk to you and, inspire someone, a future producer, future hit maker that's going to be out here, changing the world, that inspires me because, again, everything leads to the next thing. You know what I mean? Like I said, we would have a Thailand if it wasn't for Pharrell. We would have Pharrell if it wasn't for Quincy. You know what I'm saying? So that's his legacy. Yeah, of course. So if I can leave just that little part of a legacy with someone, and I look up maybe, down the line, I see someone on TV and said, I saw Hell's Kitchen one night and the guy who was in there that played the dad and maybe wanted to be an actor, normally, in the nursing home, that's me. That's great. What was the second part?
What would you say to people that are in your business?
Yeah. I would say it's never too late to follow your dream. Like I said, I made my Broadway debut at 40. And of course, like I said, I'm working with people who have been in theater forever. You know what I'm saying? So it is never too late. It's never, I'm too old, or maybe my time has passed to, I always had this dream. I want to do this or whatnot. It's never too late. It doesn't matter how old you are. As long as you are still here, breathing and alive, it is never too late to manifest and to live whatever dream that you want. So I always tell people, especially young people, start learning how to to literally visualize and speak. Because you don't have to, if you don't have to wait till you're 40 to have your moment, don't.
Yeah.
If you can hit it at 20, please do.
Yeah.
Why not? So that's what I would say.
Thank you so much, Lord. That's all I got for you.
That was good, man.
Very much.
That was yeah. Let's see, why are you famous?
But congratulations again. That's a beautiful story. Motivates me a lot.
Appreciate it, man.
I appreciate you.
Sounds good. Yes, sir.
Thank you.